Hello, everyone. We are back for part two of our interview of Dick Eastman, Richard Eastman, who was co-owner of the famous or infamous now Camp Mystic, where flash floods occurred and a lot of lives were lost, unfortunately. And Mr. Eastman saved a lot of little girls and maybe adults, I'm not sure, before he lost his own life to the river. So the first part you need to go watch. Just stop this one and go watch part one. It's very emotional, and you'll feel the emotion yourself. I know I did, and I know Denise did. We will start
Yeah.
with the next question. Thank you, Mr. Eastman, for sticking around as hard as that first part was for you.
He said, of course, of course. I can hear his Texas accent, and
Oh yeah.
he shows me, it's like I can feel it and taste it, his gratitude to you and Erik.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
And
for him to
Erik,
have a voice. Yeah,
Erik kind of rubs his back, and
Eric, I love
uh,
you.
he says he loves you. And Erik is telling him, he goes, this is what we do. This is what we do.
All right. What would you say to the families who lost someone in that flood, or to families yeah, who did not lose anyone and feel survivor's guilt? Eric, you might have to help with this one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. So Erik says, both sets of the families um, should feel whatever it is they're feeling and allow themselves to feel whatever it is they're feeling for however long they're feeling.
Yeah.
But always have a safe base, he says, somewhere where you can like hit the button and somebody is there to help you.
Yeah.
Um, if it's through a therapist, through a doctor, obviously a doctor, a therapist, or a friend who can hold space for you,
Yeah.
somebody that can be there. And as Erik is talking, I can feel um, Dick, Mr. Eastman is like yes with that. So they definitely are entitled to all of the things that they're feeling. And Erik is saying, and it's going to be raging like the waters were for a good couple of years. And he says, because um, there's nothing to make sense out of this.
No.
And
It was,
and and um, and you want to put blame somewhere, but there's not enough places to put the blame, and that brings in
yeah.
more anger and frustration and sadness and all of that. They're both are telling me this. So the ones that were saved and survived and that were survived without being saved for whatever reason,
Yeah.
you know, um, definitely they're all saying, go to some type of trauma place to
Yeah.
get so that everybody knows that they're supposed to be right where they are,
Yeah.
breathing and that. And um, I do feel like there's going to be a few books coming from this, from the kids and or the parents.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hearing from Dick, he encourages people to write about this,
Mhm.
um, and don't camouflage your emotions, feelings, or whatever as you're talking. Um, Now, for the ones that didn't survive, Erik is saying, of course, the same. Allow yourself to be, to feel whatever it is you're feeling, and there's how parent A is feeling and how the other set of parents from another kid is feeling may not be on the same page at the same time. And you're both just going all over the place. So don't base it on, well, I should be here because they're there,
There's no
or what.
right way to grieve.
There isn't. It's just
Just make sure you
grieving.
feel it. Make sure you
Yes.
lean into the grief so that you can get into on to the other side.
and Erik says, Mom, this is where you could come in and talk about how to do this, you know. Um,
Lots of experience. Oh
Unfortunately, he says, and he's also saying, Mom, this is a book you could write about.
God. I don't know where I'd
Uh,
gone to.
and
I can't
and
imagine the
he
siblings where one survived, the two siblings went to the camp, and one, I mean, in those cases where one came home and one didn't, it must be very awful for that surviving sibling.
Well, they're both showing me, and Erik is saying this is where you're going to see like setbacks in their development stage
Yeah,
mentally and
yeah,
emotionally. You're going to see a lot of setbacks, a lot of regression, I feel like is going to happen. Um, and just know this is part of it. You're going to see personality changes probably in some ways. Um, Definitely, just PTSD, like you have no idea.
yeah,
It's equivalent to these men and women who've been in war. But these kids, you know, and even the kids who are been in war, you know,
yeah.
the PTSD, that needs to be addressed. And this is what I'm hearing from um, Erik and Mr. Eastman is that this is one of the good things that is coming about this is that he's not saying illness, but mental awareness is coming
Yeah,
about from this.
yeah,
And I feel like it's really going to be a focus on in the state of Texas that will help it spread out to others and that to see the impact
yeah.
of how this is impacting the kids, like when there's school shootings and stuff.
Oh yeah, same, very similar.
Yeah, so he says there he says that there isn't a one answer to give one set of people as to the other than know that you're supposed to be here and the others are
Free.
they're where they are um and there's and it's he's telling me he's struggling with it and I'm telling him there's never going to be a good enough answer and he says exactly there's never a good enough answer. They do want He does want everyone to know that they are all in what he's saying the light now, which I find kind of
Okay,
strange, but he wants everyone to know that they're all in what we call heaven. They're all in there. They're not lost. They're not
good. That's an
wondering where
important
they
question.
are or where they're not. He says they all got scooped up. You know, it was like,
Yeah.
in a sense, everybody was working overtime to make sure that when they picked up these children, that they were able to pick them all up and like take away that trauma. And I feel like this is what he was doing was pulling all the
All the
trauma.
trauma that came
So
up in part one, people.
yes, and so there's not like fragments of them hanging around per se.
Oh,
And some I feel like there was some adults that were in that flood too, because
oh yeah.
he's saying this is what he was doing was pulling that trauma, you know, and stuff. And he's continued to work on that. And
That's good.
yeah.
That helps. So people would like to know if you could help locate where the last and only missing camper is. An 8-year-old old named Kylie Seeley Stewart, still missing, the only one. Oh, those parents.
Oh, I know.
If it's too graphic, I'd rather not know. I'd rather not air it.
Yeah, this whole thing kind of got to me too, because my brother was in the water for 7 days before they found him.
Oh,
And of course, I didn't look. We had other people
yeah. I'm
look.
sorry.
But what they're showing me is that later on, someone's going to come across some bones
Okay.
and they're going to be able to identify them because that's all they're going to have. is
Okay.
the bones. Yeah.
Um, Mr. Eastman, are there things you wish you had done or said in life in general, I guess, that you've now found peace with?
He takes a big, deep breath. He said, "Of course there is."
We
Um,
all do.
he said, "Of course there is." He said he wished he would have checked the weather the day before,
Yeah.
and said, "So what if everybody's going to be disappointed in this camp that they've waited all year to attend? Um, you're going to have to come pick up your kids."
Yeah.
Of course, he says he wished that, and I feel like that was also another part that played. He didn't want, because some of these children are waiting more than a year to go to this camp, because I feel like there is a waiting list or
Some of them
something.
sign up their newborns for this camp.
Oh,
I kid you
foot.
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because,
And
yeah,
my grandchild got in because they knew someone or whatever. So
yeah.
go
Yeah.
back.
So it's all on who you know. I always say that about
I know.
corporate work. It's all on who you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I felt like a waiting list. And so, there's that not wanting to disappoint, but,
Yeah.
um, I also, I don't know why, but he says he wish he would have gone to the doctors more often.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why he's saying that, so, but
Okay.
that's what
Well, he
he's
was an old
saying.
man. He probably had all sorts of things, just like me.
Yeah,
You
and
leave your life and sacrifice. Oh, go ahead.
no, well, the one thing he does say is, he wished he would have touched people more. And when he says that, he means physically, like hug them and said, "I love you," and look at you in the eye. When he says he wished he would have done that
Yeah.
more.
Okay. Do you believe your life and sacrifice showed that love and service are more important than religious labels? Interesting question.
That's a good question.
It is.
He says, "Of course it is. Of
Okay.
course it is." And Erik is saying that he's getting some. Erik shows me like he got his test paper back, on, is this real? Is this religious real? Is this spirit real? Or, just
Oh,
about the
yeah.
spirit real. And he got his test back and realized that a lot of his belief systems were half right
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So he's seen where he's, yeah, where there's corrections. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is along the same lines. What would you like to say to people who believe that Christianity is the only way to get to heaven and that all people are born sinners? First of all, do you think that's true now from your perspective on the other side? Let's see how many people go piss off. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, he kind of has a laugh to him. I feel like he had a sense of humor with him when he
I
was
bet.
here.
Yeah.
But there's kind of a laugh and kind of like a deep breath that he takes in. Um, he says, and this is his higher self talking.
Okay.
Um, so he says, as many of you know, there is no hell.
Right. Even the Pope or the prior Pope announced that.
There isn't
Hear ye,
one.
there's no hell.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, he likes when you do this. He
Hmm.
says, um, so is Christianity the only way? Is that was the other part of the question?
Yeah.
Um, he said there are so many. He's showing me like freeways that are like triple the size of Dallas, Texas,
Mm,
New York, LA. Just he's just showing me all these different roads
the lead to
of
heaven.
and that are about spirituality.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's not one way to go. There's not one way to go. And he says, um, even being a thief can get you on the road to knowing what's out there. And he says, really, it's in there, is what he's showing me.
Yeah,
And
that's right. That's
but
where.
he's showing me there's so many roads to take. There's not one way.
Do you feel like people are born sinners? Even little babies? Well, you're born, you're a baby. Lisa.
He says, and this is parts I feel like that his humanness is getting, I don't know, briefed on, I guess would be a good word to use,
Oh, okay.
is that none of that's true. It's and Erik is saying that he's learning that that was about control,
Okay.
telling us these things. That's all it
Of
was
course.
about control.
Yeah.
So I feel like his higher self is really like blowing all of this information into his humanness
Oh, okay.
that's still healing, so he can kind of like stretch out a little bit more.
That's good. Ooh, I feel that. Now, a lot of people are walking away from traditional religion and choosing a spiritual path instead. Some still believe in God or source, but outside of religious walls. Do you see this as a rebellion or as an evolution?
He said evolution, and he said
Oh,
evolution before you said that word, because he
wow.
says it's about evolving, and that's exactly what it is. He said, and I feel like when he was here,
He evolved a little bit in that direction.
yeah, I
I
feel like
channeled that. I swear to God, I feel it too.
yeah, Erik says you're a good mom. But
I don't know about that.
I just feel like things were turning in him because
Okay.
there were things that he witnessed
Mm.
and things he heard that don't come from the Bible.
Oh, breaking those walls a little bit.
Mhm. Well, and Erik is telling me he definitely saw that when he was saving people
Oh,
during the flood.
it.
All that other stuff, the whole, it's like a whole new chapter to the book opened up for him.
Yeah. Mm. Your life and final act of sacrifice seem to embody the message of love thy neighbor. Do you feel that love transcends race, religion, gender, and all human boundaries? It's
Of
an easy
course.
yes or no question. And now that you've crossed over, would you say that unconditional love is the true gospel beyond just the Christian label? Love is all there is,
He
right?
says yes, and he goes, in the unconditional love, and this is his higher self talking to me. Unconditional love is what we're learning.
Yeah. We're learning how to, that we are love, for one thing,
Yeah.
and we're learning how
Yeah.
to love.
And he says, and we're learning it by learning how to, because how we're learning it, he says, is we're learning how to love our own selves first,
Yeah.
because that's how you learn about unconditional love
Yeah.
and eternal love.
That's,
Yeah.
love 1.0 before you get to love 2.0. That's for sure. You have to put your own oxygen mask on first. All right, three more questions. Is it true that you got authorities to get some of the camp's land from we ordered to answer this number one, from the list of flooding areas so you could build more cabins and cash in more profits? Well, you did get them to release property from the floodplain so they could build, right? Is it yes or no?
He said yes, he did. And I
And
feel
was that
like
because you wanted more profits or you wanted more kids to enjoy the camp or a little bit of all these or
I feel like he's letting me feel like it's a mixture of both,
okay.
a mixture of both.
How do you feel
Yeah.
about that?
Um, and this is the part that I feel like he's working on healing,
Yeah.
because he says everything is about you know, not for everyone he's speaking, but it's about the bottom dollar is what
Yeah.
he says. And this is the part that he's really working with his human part of him and forgiving and letting go because there was stuff about the money, that wasn't the only reason, but it definitely is a motivator.
Well, you want to keep it profitable so you don't go bankrupt. That's one thing. You
Well,
have
he didn't do
fiscal
it on a,
responsibility,
he didn't do
fiduciary
it,
responsibility.
yeah, he didn't do it on a donation basis.
Right.
And this is where I feel like I just I don't know. I feel like how this camp, when they reopen, do things, they're going to be doing it a little bit different than how
Right.
he did it. And I feel like it's because there's going to be some influence from him from the other side on how to do this. Because that camp is only available to a certain sector of people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You have to be pretty wealthy,
Oh, wow. Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
So there was a lot of criticism about that, but it's hard to know what to do. Anyway,
Yeah. So,
that's
yeah.
an argument for another day, I suppose. Does your spirit feel higher energy when when people pray for you and the other victims from the flood? Do you feel that? I definitely prayed for you.
Erik says, of course, what it does is it helps, what it does is it helps us to to heal, to it's like the
Yeah,
all the Erik, he gives me the like all the it helps us to see the lights on,
yeah,
where there's darkness in us, where our humanness is stuck in our like our ego stuck attached to something on the fragmented pieces. It
right.
helps the lights to come on, and
Oh,
it encourages. It's like, oh, there's another part of me that needs to be embraced with love. Let me go love that piece, and stuff.
um, so everybody continue to pray for Mr. Eastman and also the girls who and
For
the
all of them, he says
passed away.
for everyone,
Yeah,
everyone,
absolutely.
everything and everyone. Yes.
All this thing you bought, you built cabin on land that was in the floodplain. Was all this because it had to be a karmic lesson for the collective? There was no way out of it. This was a spiritual contract that could not be changed.
No,
Okay,
no.
enough.
He says this was part, and I feel like he's using, I want to be careful with his words. This really shows, and I'm sure other people are going to learn from this who are in the business of selling and buying and about crossing lines that you shouldn't cross.
Okay. Were you greeted as a group once you reached the other side? You and the girls that you saved?
Yes, but it's not like it wasn't like, oh, here's all the people from Camp Mystic. It's not like that. It's like a group, each one came, it's like Erik says it was like a group of healers that just scooped them, individual soul, being, human, or whatever you want to call it, scooped them all up individually and like wrapped them in this healing, as I see it, like this healing silver warmth
Mm,
of love and doing
nice.
this because there was so much trauma. The
Dear goodness.
Yeah, and it was like you know, I just I don't feel like this is what was supposed to happen,
Oh,
but because it did happen, Erica showed me in the cosmos, they said, okay, let's rewrite this and make it to where it benefits everyone. And I just, oh, so sick to my stomach.
mm,
So they made it into an event that could benefit everyone. But I don't feel like this was pre-planned a year ago. This was
okay.
part of their
Contract.
soul yeah. I feel like they saw this happening and then they did what they needed to do to make it.
Valuable, a valuable lesson.
Yeah, I want to say better, but that isn't even a word to be
No.
used.
Just a
To make
teachable
it
moment.
so it's not a waste. So it's not a
Right. Make
waste.
it a
Yeah.
teachable moment.
Yeah, for so many people.
So
It
many
is,
people.
yes, yes. Yeah.
All right. Last question. Can you describe another life that most influenced your one is Richard Dick Eastman?
Well, um, he says, oddly enough, um, I feel like he says a servant
Oh,
back in the Jesus days.
oh,
And I'm asking him, was he a servant to Jesus? And he says, no, but he was a servant to some of the people that knew Jesus.
okay, interesting.
And so he was always fascinated um, by Jesus's voice.
Oh, okay.
The way it's like it was always a
Resonated.
yeah, the way it just like he shows me like it's like his voice spoke blue, like the energy blue. It just like
Oh,
when the words
from
come
the
out,
blue throat chakra.
it just came out in the bluest energy. And he says he was always fascinated, but I feel like he was kind of like on a ball and chain as a servant to whoever it was.
Yeah.
But but he really admired Jesus. But he says he couldn't let people know that though,
Why?
um, because he
You're
had
just a
to.
slave.
He
You can't have
because
a mind of your own.
I feel like he had to like worship the people who he was a servant to.
Oh, okay. I got
Yeah,
you. Worship. Okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Eastman, before we close up?
He wants to thank you tremendously,
Praise God.
and he's thanking Erik,
And you. To
and he's shaking Erik's hand, and he says he wants everybody to know that he knows that this isn't over, and I don't feel like he gets to completely rest and everything's beautiful, until everyone else is rested,
All
because
right.
this is part of what he's to do is to help people through this.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Denise. And again, you guys check her out in the description box below. She is amazing. I mean, come on, you can see it, right? You can see it. And also, please hit the like and the subscribe buttons. It
Yes.
really helps us. I'm not sure how, but it does. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers, I think, and we're like 99 point.
Oh, wow.
So we're getting there. Just push us over the edge, please. You could be the one who does it. All right. Thank you, guys.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Love you
Bye.
all. Love you, Denise. Love you, Erik.
He says he loves you.
Bye.
Bye.